back up, and you can slide down. Wendy, if there's is there a chair there, Mike, for Wendy? Slide up next to this handsome man here. It's good to see you again, Wendy.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I wanted to, again, just thank both of you for coming down. I know it's not the nicest night.
No, my pleasure.
But, you know, I really appreciate it. I wanted to dedicate tonight's roundtable to basically three points. The first is the opportunity for a historic alliance. Okay. The second is the boycott situation that was going around. I want to lend a little bit of discussion to that. And the third component is eastern located hunters, those hunters that are residing in the eastern townships, opening up to or consenting to having the public lands open up to West End archers, West End hunters, I should say, at least to a degree. So let me try to put that a little bit into context, and then we'll also invite your comments a little bit. The first is this historic alliance aspect, and this is what, you know, really gets me excited about what's going on now, particularly, Wendy, with your group and other groups of your ilk. That it's the first time that I've heard an organization that, you know, didn't have hunting in its name, whether, you know, it's a preservation organization, but that it recognizes hunting as an inalienable right, and that as a management tool. And so I think that the opportunity for the two sides to come together, and us being open to ideas like the fertilization in exchange, these groups welcoming hunting in as a management tool offers great potential. So I'm really excited about that.
Absolutely.
So what are your brief thoughts on that?
Well, the way I see it is the different programs that I can utilize are necessary now and in the future as, you know, human communities expand and, you know, press the deer into difficult situations. So that's kind of what I want to take care of. And then I, you know, am so happy to have the hunters, you know, take care of the outside regions and keep the herd in general in good shape and in a manageable number. So that's the great thing about how this works. I think traditionally conservationists and hunters have had more alliances than maybe you realize over the decades, over the centuries. And you know, I think it's a very logical, philosophically sound collaboration, you know, and so yeah, so I really welcome it. And when they come up with ideas like this with the USDA, it's like we have to stop this. Right. We can't go forward like this. We have to learn how to live with wildlife, manage wildlife in traditional ways and in new scientific ways sometimes, and do it on a community level so that you're not having these horrible slaughters. I mean, this is really
right. Yeah.
I think it's first time I've ever heard of a deer rehabilitationist, you know, invite a hunter to join, you know, to be a part of one group. You know, I think that's an amazing.
Absolutely. Again, it offers just so much for us. I just wanted to briefly, we're running out of time on the show, but briefly, I know the talk about the boycott, and you know, IHE as an organization lend a formal position. I know Hunters for Deer didn't, but a lot of the members have, you know, undertook to boycott, and I'll say it publicly, myself included, that if you were a member of the Long Island Farm Bureau, I wasn't going to buy you goods because I felt that you were not supporting me.
I agree 100%.
You know, we haven't. Your thoughts about these type of initiatives?
I think they're great, and I think they should be done. And I think the Long Island Farm Bureau as a whole, whether you gave permission to have permits issued for your property or not, I consider that you're in that. You know, that's my personal feeling.
That's my personal feeling.
Others may feel differently, but you know, the Farm Bureau is the one that created this whole thing.
Right.
You know, they started the initiative, so.
Right. And it's so easy for them to get out of it and for us to rekindle the congruence that should be
Absolutely,
between the
absolutely.
farmer and the hunting community. The farmer should be utilizing
We
us.
don't hate the farmer,
Right.
we wanna work with the
Right.
farmer, that was our whole idea from the very
Yeah,
beginning.
you know, a part of the problem was the PR,
We can go a little over, Nick.
the PR war that Joe Gergella and other supervisors did against the deer and against other management practices, saying that contraception doesn't work, it costs millions of dollars, all this kind of stuff. That was really bad,
Right,
Yeah.
and that was really wrong.
right.
And
Just to kind of like push through this
it was
at
just
all
really
costs.
crazy, and
And
not tell
all
the truth.
falsities, right, all falsities, and really just try to push it through because of the political investment
So-
that they obviously had at the grant.
I agree with you ultimately that, if you're a member of the Farm Bureau, that and you don't quit the Farm Bureau, you pretty much must agree with all these policies. But at the same time, I don't want to hurt farmers
Of course not.
No, absolutely.
that are not involved in this, and then just have, a traditional sense of loyalty to the Farm Bureau because they've been there for 15 years or
Right,
something.
right.
So I just want to be very careful that, I'm never going to buy anything in Sagaponic ever again. And that's where I used to get all my vegetables, no more, that's it, period.
Yeah, they have to understand
You
that, if we're.
And I've
we're
told
not
them that,
supporting-
I've
right,
told them that, I
right.
said, this is an unintended consequence, but this is what's happening, and this is what's happening in people, and I'm not making them, they're just, this is
Right.
their reaction, boom,
Yep.
that's disgusting, I'm never buying from them again, so,
Yep, and maybe it's.
I just don't want
maybe it's-
innocent bystanders to be hurt.
Right.
And I've gone to farmers, I said, look, we can bring hunters, we can solve your problem,
Right,
and they just
yeah.
don't listen.
Well, that's why I wanted to basically segue a little bit. A lot of this, I live obviously in the town of Southampton. And what we're hearing, it's important for the hunters that live in the 5 Eastern Townships to not be selfish when it comes to opening up town land to up island Western hunters. And here's the reason why. Number one, there is a problem, and if there wasn't a problem, okay, we wouldn't be in the situation that we have. So in order to effectively address the situation, we're going to need our brethren
Absolutely.
from up island. So that's the first thing. But here's the bigger picture that I see. When you don't allow hunters from the other townships to come into where most of the hunting is in the 5 Eastern Townships, what you're doing really is alienating the hunter, the hunting experience, the hunting tradition.
Right.
So your short-term goal of really trying to keep all of the harvest to yourself, in the long term, what's good for your kids and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren, by adopting that type of policy, you're hurting the long-term tradition of hunting. And that's what I pray and hope that our fellow hunters here in the 5 Eastern Townships see. And we're not talking about, I know a lot of the management plans opening up all of the land. No, but possibly a percentage would be a reasonable thing instead of all of it. So I'm gonna, for those, my fellow hunters who live in the 5 Eastern Townships, I hope you think about what I just said. And certainly I respect your opinion, but hopefully you'll be part and parcel of trying to opening up the land to our fellow hunters up island. Well, we ran a little bit over tonight. It's because our guests were so good.
Good
So I want to
topics.
thank you guys
Good
both.
topics.
Thank you guys both again for
You're very welcome.
coming down. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Again, I apologize for the late start time. Again, some technical difficulties. We're working through it, but I appreciate you tuning in. You can pass this viewership on. You can notify people. The segments will be edited and profiled on YouTube, so you can check them out. It'll probably be up in a couple of days or so, and they'll be posted on the website. You'll see the links to the Facebook page and so forth. So again, thanks for tuning in. I encourage you to join Island Hunting Exchange. It's free. Just go on the website and join up. Again, don't forget our public service announcement for Justin and his family. You can go to GoFundMe. I encourage you to do that. And thanks again for tuning in. Thanks.
Awesome. Very good. Whoop.
Very good, guys.
Yeah.
Thank
Very
you so
good.
much.
Go off, Mike. Like, never knows.